We're ready.
Is it protected?
No, this new card that John gave us is always unprotected. It's almost ruined the fun of the first 10 seconds of the podcast.
It's like having sex in the 80s.
It really is. All unprotected and all super drunk. I was drunk for a chunk of the 80s.
I was like 12, so I was
I was going to say I was drunk for most of the 90s.
90s, yeah.
I was drunk late 80s.
No, not me. But 90s, hard 90s, like to the point where like there's a full year where I'm like that. I don't even know
when
if it happened.
When did you stop drinking?
The Super Bowl with the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears in the mud with Rex Grossman trying to quarterback and Peyton Manning, and I got so drunk that I was hungover for like 3 days. Like I was annihilated, dead, like couldn't move, didn't enjoy life anymore, and so that was it. And nowadays I have a drink every once in a while, but it's not. I just can't go hard.
Me neither. You know what's crazy is that
retired.
I like isn't even the right word. I not love, somewhere between love and like the feeling of being drunk. I've been a long time since I got shit-faced, fall down.
Yeah, I remember like the consequences, but I don't remember the feeling of like, all right, baby.
I love it because every now and then on stage or at the shows, I'll have a shot of tequila. And right now, in the club always pours me.
If I had a shot of tequila, I would die.
Right, so the club always pours me like a double shot.
I would straight up puke and then die.
It's a great, I love the feeling. But then I wake up the next day and I'm like, God damn it, it just...
Should have just ate tacos if you're trying to get culturally hip. You don't have to have a hangover.
You know what I've learned from traveling around the country? Not everybody can make a taco. Take it easy with your cucumber. You know what I hate about the California taco?
What?
Like the instead of tortillas, they have like cucumber wraps. Like
cucumber's a hard word for you to say.
It is this morning apparently. I've said cook. I've done a little cuckoo. Summertime. I added one more.
You did like 7.
Because right now it should go summertime.
No.
It is 4 though. Summertime.
No.
4.
That was your original thought, and still no.
You think it's summertime?
Are you even gonna say your name? Who you
I'm
are?
Josh. Yeah. Wait, is it summertime? That's what it is.
That's the right amount, but you're still saying it wrong somehow.
How do you say it?
I'm not saying it again. This has been like a year, and you don't know how to say it.
How do you say it, Tim? How do you say it? Is it summertime?
No.
He doesn't know.
No.
John Lee Brody, how do you say it? What's that? Is it summertime? Is there an option? 4 summers?
How is the Fresh Prince's Summertime song go?
See? John agrees with me.
No.
Summer.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not even joking. If you do it again, there's gonna be rerepercussions.
Do you want me to?
Freddie Prinze, Josh Wolf.
Do you want me to rap for you instead?
We're gonna do a freestyle.
Okay. You know what I'm working in there.
If you do, there's gonna be a problem. I'm telling you right now. If you disrespect the Fresh Prince, the Philly
Yo, did you
Fresh
hear his new
Prince-
rap?
No.
Not kidding. Not terrible. I don't hate his flow, man.
Yo,
and you know what I love about his
I don't
raps?
either. He's cool.
Yeah.
I do love this though. This is one of my favorite things ever. It was kind of a diss on him. He won an MTV Music Award or something, and in his speech he said, "And there's no cursing in my lyrics."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, "Okay, right on, man." That's like the stance he wants to take. Eminem
Love that one.
took not offense, but felt that was directed towards him based off the reason why he won. And in his next rap, he said, "Will Smith doesn't have to cuss in his records. Well, I do, so fuck him and fuck you too."
Love that.
And I literally was like, yo, dude,
Yeah.
that was like, there have been some good rap disses in history, and that's not like a top 3, but there hadn't been a good one in so long that I was like, oh my God.
It was also it wasn't like a whole song or 8 verses.
It was just
like
thing.
a pa.
Yeah, like Cannabis and LL Cool J had one of my favorite ones ever. because he cut a line on an LL song where he's like, "Can I snatch the mic off your arm?" Because he has that tattoo of a microphone on his big ass right arm, right? And LL was like, "Hold up, like, what did you just?" So he took offense to that, and this kid goes in on him and he starts saying like he's gonna try to make his name on LL, and he's rapping on him, and I don't remember the whole song, but he ends it with, "And 99% of your fans are all women." And then LL hears the song, and his response was, "99% of your fans don't exist."
Ah, so funny.
And it was over. Yeah. Like, there was no, like, "Oh, yeah,
well, 99% of your fans.
Can I get on NCIS Los
Yeah.
Angeles, please?"
By the way, LL Cool J, who's got bigger arms, me or him?
Whoo, LL's arms are... Dude, I'm not even lying. Like, you got good arms.
But I have
Yours
tiny
are
arms.
cut.
He's got massive.
Yeah, his arms, like, I've seen him box. He's one of the few actors, rappers, whatever, who I've watched train, and I'm like, that guy actually knows how to box. Like, his technique on his hook, he throws a really mean left hook, and the elbow comes up properly. Like, it's not some sloppy upper hook. Like, it's a clean hook. And when you and I've even asked like boxers, and they're like, no, LL can try. I've always wanted to spar with him to see what he's got, man. But he's big. Though.
I was gonna say,
if he didn't take it easy and he clocked me, he could hurt me.
He looks like he got a little power there.
He would just have to chill, man, and be like a cool like spar set.
Well, then you know what song you would play?
I'm sorry, what?
You know what rap song you'd play when you guys were boxing?
As long as it's an LL song.
You know what it would be?
Yeah. I'm gonna knock you out.
No, if you want him to chill.
Oh.
I'm jingling, baby. Go ahead, baby. I'm jingling, baby.
Go ahead, baby.
I'm jingling.
So, like in the middle of the round, do I hit him with "When I'm alone in my room"?
Yeah.
Or do you think he would really haul off and pop me?
No, when you're in the clinch, you just start whispering that shit to him.
That's how I ring the bell. Instead of ding ding. Here, you know what? That'll be the beatbox.
Okay.
I need love. That's gonna be so. It's gonna be a slower, sexier one. And I already told you what I'm gonna talk about today, right? You remember?
Yeah, you're gonna talk about Father's Day.
Yes.
You're gonna talk
I wanna
about
talk some
Ronda
wrestling.
Rousey.
Yeah.
And
Money in the Bank was the name of the pay-per-view. If you need to think of something that rhyme with bank, like tank or crank or
Shank.
Mm-hmm. Hank Williams Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He can make country music.
Yeah.
Hey!
Is that all? Is that we were talking about Father's Day and Ronda Rousey? There's one more. I felt like there was one more.
Oh, and not having internet for 2.5 days. If you want to throw that in, but you don't have to. I'm just going to bitch about that. It's not really a part of the podcast.
Okay. And I feel like, let me ask you, as you're more of an expert than I am.
On
the rapping.
Whew, okay.
So every week I just I do a friend and again and Wolf and the Prinze just to kind of start. Is that all right? Because is that cheating?
No, man, that's not cheating. I will say this: you say that's what you hate about other rappers.
That I do the same thing over and over again.
Like when other rappers start to like, "Yo, I'm back again."
Oh, I do it as a joke.
Kept you waiting too long.
I do that as a joke because I like to say I'm back. Yeah,
but
I
now
won't say
I'm back. So if you do that, then I will call you out on. But no, you're just doing your warm up.
Okay. Yeah,
kind of. You're basically saying turn my headphones up.
Yeah, it just gets me into it. It just gets me into it. All right, hold on.
All right, you tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
And this is gonna be like I said. It's gonna be more in the I need love. Okay, are you ready? And you don't have to rap like that. The beat's gonna be slower.
I have to tell you, brain feels a little blank today.
You've had a hard time saying blank and cucumbers.
Cucumber
so this
and brain.
is gonna be a rough one.
Yeah.
You think we're gonna take a step backwards today?
Maybe. I am having a problem with my R's and L's.
I will say this. You took so many steps forward.
Yeah.
It would be damn hard to match it, let alone beat it. So I expect a bit of a slump. A sophomore slump.
Okay.
Ready?
I guess so.
Filled with Confidence.
Yeah.
The name of this rap is Filled with Confidence by Josh Wolf.
Tuesday again, you know what that means. Prinze and the Wolf, kings and queens. Everybody listening in. Here we go again and again. And today we talk some UFC. You know who's back? Ronda Rousey. She got her ass checked out. She got suspended. There will be no bout coming up on the new WWE program. I don't know what that's called. It's either Raw or the other one, but who knows? Let's move on to the next topic.
Well,
yeah.
look.
You know what?
Effort was strong. You've established that you have a flow, but you didn't have the ideas today.
I didn't have it today.
You didn't have the creativity.
I didn't have it lined up. I have to tell you.
An MC rhymes when called upon.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I'm a little scatterbrained today.
Disappointed.
I'm scatterbrained. I'm scatterbrained. I'm all
You're
over
so
the place.
scatterbrained, you can't even tell me what you're scatterbrained about.
I'm trying to put it in the right words without a woe is me kind of.
Well, then let me bitch while you organize your thoughts.
Okay.
Okay. So check this out. It's Saturday morning. No, I'm sorry. It's Sunday morning, Father's Day morning. My kids come into my wife's and my bedroom, 6:15. Dad wanted to sleep in.
Mm-hmm.
Dad usually gets up at 6. 6:30 sleep in would have been nice. 6:15. Dad, I open my eyes. My son and my daughter, they're both standing there with their iPads in their hands. Our iPads don't work. My son says to me, I go, what's you talking to me for?
Yeah, because they should know that you can't fix.
I say, hey, Daddy wants to sleep. You just got to exit out and start over. And Charlotte goes, Dad, we already did that. They don't work. I go, all right, let me get up. So I get up, check their iPads. The internet has full bars. I'm like, okay, it should work. Nothing. I go, all right, let me get up. I get up. Sarah goes, do you want me to do it? I go, nah, I can at least reset an internet. I know how to do that. I let her stay in bed. I go downstairs. I look at our internet system, and it's just the death light, the death red. I'm like, oh, crap. Reset, death red. Check my phone, no dial tone, okay? Check my cell phone, no signal. We live in an area that requires like a Verizon signal booster.
Yeah.
I go check the signal booster, 4 red bars instead of 4 blue bars. I'm like, oh, no, this crap happens once a year. But usually, gets fixed pretty quickly. But today is Sunday, Father's Day. I'm not going to crap on our service provider because they do their best. They only hire so many techs, and what the hell can the techs do? But it's Father's Day, can't get anyone. And I won't be around anyway because I'm planning on going out with my kids. So I'm like, all right, we got no internet. I go, well, we're going to play a board game. So we play Life while my wife rests. She wakes up, she comes down. We let her join in the game, but we only give her 1 kid, and she gets the job that we choose for her. So she was a school teacher.
That's what happens when you join late.
Yeah, so she was a school teacher, which my kids thought was a good job. I had to remind Sarah, I was like, you ain't gonna make shit. Very noble of you. So we played Life. Grandma got some time because she missed him the day before. My wife blew out her back, so I took him over there and I nursed Sarah for a little while. Picked up the Monchi cheese. We went to the bookshop, everything to keep away from the house because there's nothing we can do there. But I can't stay away too long because Sarah's hurt.
Right.
So we get some ice cream, come home. We have a nice like Father's Day dinner there at the house.
Did you make it?
Yeah, my son made barbecue sauce from scratch
Nice.
for me for Father's Day. So I made some barbecue chicken, and he made like a tangy one. Oh, it was so nice, dude. It was.
Is that the recipe of the
bomb.
week? His barbecue sauce?
I should make it, but then he would sue me for stealing his invention.
That'd be hilarious.
And then my daughter made this beautiful thing of pictures and wrote me this lovely card. And we had dinner. I put everyone down. And my wife's, she can't do anything. Her legs are, propped up. She's just watching TV, depressed because her back's out and she can't run around and do what she wants to do. My kids are asleep. And now I realize I have no fucking Xbox.
Oh, no.
I can't go online. I can't play my pirate game, Sea of Thieves, that you know I love. I can't shoot people in Call of Duty. I can't play people online in Super Mega Baseball 2. I can't do shit. So my night is horrible. Monday comes.
What did you do, by the way?
Almost died. To watch fucking TV.
Oh,
horrible.
no.
It was horrible. No, I am not even playing. It was
Yeah,
horrible.
man.
So Sunday comes along, and now I'm panicking.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Monday comes, now I'm panicking. Because I don't know what to do. I get my kids to camp. There's still no internet in the house. I haven't even seen the WWE pay-per-view yet. So I take my iPad over to a sports bar that I eat at a lot called Sonny McLean's. It's like a Boston
that's the Boston sports bar in Santa Monica.
I get a booth. They let me have their internet. And I'm there for 2 hours watching a WWE pay-per-view, eating steak skewers and onion rings while I watch Ronda Rousey.
Pretty great.
Take on Nia. Now, this is a 2-hour window while they're at camp.
Right.
Pick them up. By the way, it's Tuesday. I still have no internet. The dude's due between 12 and 3, which means
3.
however long it takes him to finish the people before us, and it's never as easy as you hope. So
Right.
I'm sure it'll take him a week to fix their problem because I'm sure they fucked everything up when they tried to do it themselves. So I still have no internet. I still have no games. I have to do my gaming here.
I mean,
But I did get to see the pay-per-view, and we can talk about me
we should.
in a moment, about me being the prognosticator and the Nostradamus
first thing I said when I walked in.
of the WWE. Now, please go.
But now
Your thoughts are no longer scattered.
how did you survive? I mean, on a scale of 0 to 10, terrible. 10 being just the worst. Outside of catastrophic shit. Where is the 2.5 days without internet? What's worse, 2.5 days without internet or 2.5 days without your phone?
2.5 days without internet. Way worse.
Worse.
Oh, way worse. When my phone dings, that's annoying because I'm usually trying to play video games. Like, I'm telling you, I would rather be sick, like with the flu,
Yeah.
but be able to play games than be healthy and not.
Was it a good Father's Day?
Yeah, man, no matter what it is. It
Yeah.
wasn't what we planned, but there's that old Outcast line, like, you could plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather.
Yeah.
So we just roll with it, man. We ended up going into the backyard. We barbecued chicken. I made my son practice his boxing, even though he goes, I already practiced. I said, practice for 10 seconds. He goes, you only said I had to do 10 punches. I said, that's how you start. So anyway, we argue about that.
You got in there?
So we just hung out in the backyard, and I threw Sarah in the jacuzzi so she could rest her back, and so she chilled in the jacuzzi. Kids ran through this little like sprinkler, like slip and sliding thing that we have, and I barbecued food. Like that's a great Father's Day. Man.
I would tell you.
How was your Father's Day? All
My
your kids are like out of the country.
Yeah, right? My daughter is in town, and I saw her. She bought her first car by herself.
No!
She's so proud of herself. I'm so happy for her. She bought a car. She bought this 2015 Civic.
Nice.
Yeah, man. She pulled it up. I'm like, this is a beautiful fucking car. So I'm super happy
She's like
for her.
nicer than yours.
Yeah. I'm super happy for her. I'm really super happy for her. And by the way,
She's
everybody.
like, Happy Father's Day. I bought myself a car.
I went with her to get it. It was fantastic. I did, by the way, I do know that I hear you guys, and I'm trying to remember when I laugh to pull the microphone away from my mouth. I hear you. You've reached out to me several times.
Nice.
I hear you.
Hey, do your best.
I'm doing my best. You know what I've always wanted
Nobody's
for Father's
perfect.
Day? And even when the kids were young. Now, when I was single, this was not possible. But Beth always asked me, what do you want for Father's Day? And I was like, I would like you and the kids to go somewhere else. Because I'm a father 364 days a year. So how about on Father's
You want a
Day,
day off?
you leave me the fuck alone. She was like, you want to tie? No, I don't want to tie. I don't want to go out to dinner. I do that all the time.
At what age did that become something you genuinely wanted?
Well, here's the funny thing.
Because it's not when they're little. When they're little, it's so cute it almost makes you fucking cry.
Yes.
But I can imagine at a certain age, like my mom being like, you know what I want for Mother's Day, Freddie? I'm
Beat
a
it.
single mom. Get the fuck
Yeah.
out.
Beat it.
So
Here-
how old do you have to be when you become an annoyance?
Well, I'll tell you this. Because it dawned on me one time that on Mother's Day, we always did what Beth wanted to do. Or she went to a spa, but it was always me or whatever. We took care of her. But on Father's Day, we
It's
always
still what they want to do.
We always ended up doing what they want to do. And I was like, this is bunk as fuck. Like, how is it
But
still?
we're doing it for you.
Yeah. Like sometimes I'll get
You're
a
like, I don't want to go to the botanical gardens.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Sometimes when I get a birthday gift, I'm like, let me ask you something. Is this for me or is this so I can do something for you? You know what I mean?
The best is when they give you something that's close to something you already have.
Yeah.
But the version of it they want you to have. Like clothes or shoes where you're like,
Yeah.
huh,
I got those.
you know I wear these kind,
Yeah.
but you got me
Yeah.
those. So you've hated these for how many years?
Yeah. You should just try them on. I'm
Just
not
try 'em.
gonna.
A turtleneck? Really?
Yeah, that's not what I asked for.
Never owned one. No, I know. I thought it'd be nice. No, I know you thought it'd be nice.
Pocket
But you
protector.
also know what I think is
Yeah.
nice. maybe live in that world.
Yeah, maybe you could just go down the sweatpant aisle. Just,
I'm trying to save you money. And these have so many holes that you complain about all the time. Why not get me some fresh ones?
It's so dumb. So I guess around the age when they stopped being cute, 11, 12.
Puberty.
Yeah,
Puberty.
where I was like, hey guys, you know what? I'll even pay for you. You want to go to Dodgers game? Cool. Go without me. Like, I'll pay for you guys to do whatever you want.
San Diego's further. Go to SeaWorld.
I know. I would pay.
Watch the Dodgers and Padres on a Friday, Saturday. Do your own thing. Don't even
Father's
come
Day
back till Monday.
weekend. You know what I want to do for Father's Day? I want to sit by myself in quiet. I want to smoke some weed and watch TV outside. I put a TV outside on my patio, so I want to watch some TV.
Is that what you would do?
Yeah, man. I would sit there next to my pool, and
First of all, you wouldn't be able to accomplish the task of getting a TV out there and having it work so you could actually watch something because you're not
have
technologically
a TV
advanced.
outside,
You do?
mounted on the wall.
I haven't seen it.
It's outside. It's right. Like when I'm doing my high live, sometimes I watch.
Can you only
sports.
see it at night though? Because it's hella bright in the valley.
So we have the TV screen on there,
Mm-hmm.
so it shades it so you can.
Okay, so your family leaves Saturday night to give you Sunday to yourself.
Yeah.
You wake up.
What time do they leave?
They left Saturday night. So
Was
you,
I already asleep?
Yeah, you were asleep.
Okay.
So you had to deal with them, with those pubescent children
Yeah.
at 12 years
Those
old. Those fuckers.
stinky assholes.
So it's now the next day, and what time is it when you would wake up, you think?
As soon as the door clicked for them leaving.
No, you sleep through the night. You
No.
don't get Saturday night.
Oh, did they leave Saturday?
They left Saturday night to give you all of Sunday.
Oh, I probably, without interruption, wake up at 7.
7 a.m., first thing you do, you know they're not coming home until Monday morning. You've got all of Sunday, 24 hours.
I get in the car, I go to a greasy ass diner and I order some pancakes and bacon and coffee.
That's nice.
I put my headphones on.
There's no one there at that hour on a Sunday.
No.
You're good.
I
What are you
wrote it-
listening to?
Well, there's a new band, this new artist that I'm listening to. I think his name, I know this is gonna mess it up, but I think he's called Fantastic Negrito. And
Okay.
I think that's what I just started listening to him, but I can't stop. He's like this funky rock blues, modern, just balls.
Okay, so you got your pancakes, your bacon, and your bowls.
Yep.
And you've left the diner. You're back home.
Back home, and
Where are you sitting down at?
now you did not know this about me, but usually I'm not smoking weed until 8 p.m.
No, I figured you were like dawn till dawn.
On Father's Day,
Okay.
yes. On Father's Day, dawn to dawn. Do you know why I don't? Because I need that edge.
You need to be angry?
Not angry, but I need that edge.
The Chris Titus rage?
Yes, because otherwise,
I
during
always
this,
felt like if you and Chris Titus, if your worlds collided, it would actually cause like a rainstorm.
I love Titus.
I know everyone does, or you love to hate him,
Fucking
but your
love him.
energies are so opposite, but you end up in the same place.
Yeah.
Almost on every topic. But you're so opposite, it would literally be like a hot front and a cold front meeting, and then
it's funny because I follow him on Twitter and I'm like, yeah, I think the same way this guy thinks, except he expresses it.
in like a physical punch.
His tweets are like,
And yours is
barrage.
more musical. 'Cause
Yeah,
you love playing guitar.
It's a little flowy.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man, like you're just so left.
But he
and
goes
right,
like this.
man. No, you're Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau.
Oh my
all day
God.
long. Okay, so you're home.
I'm home. I smoke
What's
weed.
on TV?
Father's Day,
Yeah, baseball.
baseball. I order pizza. Oh yeah.
You just had pancakes, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, for
Sorry.
lunch, I order pizza.
Okay.
I order pizza.
That shit's got delivered.
Yeah. I order pizza.
What are you wearing? What do you answer the door in?
It depends if I want to be funny or not. There are times when I answer the door and I just want to be funny, and I'll just jack my hair straight up and
Come on, man.
I'll put some best sunglasses on and I'll throw on a robe.
Come on, for real.
Yeah. And then if it's a delivery guy, he'll hand it to me. I'm like, no, come into the kitchen and put it on the counter for me. So I won't take my hands out of my pockets. I'll shuffle.
Come on, man.
Oh, dude. So I shuffle. If you're watching, you see this, right? So this is what I do. I do just like this. I put the robe on and I go like this.
Can't nobody see you over there. You
Okay.
gotta do it behind us.
I shuffle like this, or my hands in my pockets like this.
That's so weird.
Head down. And then, I go like I'm an indentured Chinese woman in the 1800s.
I love it.
I shuffle, I put my robe on.
I wonder how many weirdo actors do that just to creep, not because they're actually weirdos, just to creep people out.
Had a delivery driver, right? So, and I always tip because I always pretend, I always tip well. And as he's walking out, I hear him go, "Hey, I think you're really funny, Josh." And I was like, well, I'm not usually like this. I'm just pecking around. I broke character. I was like, thank you for being a fan. Thank you. Because I just assume nobody knows who I am. You know what I mean?
That's hysterical.
But yeah, listen, dude. But Father's Day for me is I'm not sure I'm on board for either Father's Day or Mother's Day.
Did you call your dad and say, "Dad"?
Of course. But
that's
I'm not.
a dick move. I don't have a dad. You would even bring that up.
I'm not sure I did.
No, you did. You just want to rub it in my face.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
No, I
bro.
called you on Father's Day after I called my dad.
And you were like,
I was like, hey man, what are you doing?
"You couldn't call anybody. I knew I'd get you." It's fucked up, man.
I think Father's Day and Mother's Day, although I don't think they are the most overrated holidays. That we
Hallmark
have.
holidays are pretty overrated.
I think, as far as real holidays, we're just talking about overrated holidays, not why we have them, but just the celebration.
Mm.
I think July 4th is just like, ugh. I think that.
July 4th.
And New Year's Eve
This
parties are the
isn't
worst.
worthy of a Mount Rushmore, but I'll just do like the ones I hate most. 4th of July is bullshit. Valentine's Day is bullshit.
We like the reason of 4th of July.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, but
But it's just people getting drunk.
yeah.
Valentine's
Day, yeah.
Day is bullshit. Just get flowers a few times a year. Don't worry about one day where you have to, and then whether you get them or not, you're fucked.
That's the
Because you
thing.
only got them because it's Valentine's
That's
Day, and
the
if you
thing.
forget, how could you forget on Valentine's Day? You're
Right.
just fucked either way. So give them on the 13th and the 15th, but never the 14th. And I'm trying to think, there's got to be another one. And President's Day. That's just fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
You just throw them all in there? No. If one of them ain't worthy of having their own day, then fuck President's
Well,
Day.
Washington's birthday and Lincoln's birthday get celebrated, but how come just those two?
Nah.
I'm with you.
No presidents get a day.
To me, Valentine's Day is the stupidest one because it's okay. First of all, people, and by the way, guys, some people get literally upset. Well, this holiday's bullshit. It makes me feel bad. I don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. Hey,
That's on you.
yeah,
Step
that's
it
on
up.
you, man. That's not, like if that
Get
holiday
out
hurts your
there.
feelings, then you have some serious life problems.
Get out there, feel good about yourself. Go to a Subway, meet someone nice, get a sandwich together. Boom.
Go to the Subway.
What? I saw two people. I was late to a meeting, or I was early to a meeting, and I was getting a Subway sandwich, and I saw like they were probably like, I don't know, 18, 19, but they were super in love, man. It was like down in Calabasas.
That's
It was
so
like a
nice.
tech meeting thing. And so they were like surfer kids, and they were like, she would not stop staring at him, and he was like doing the thing where like, I know she's staring.
Yeah.
So
Flipping
just
his
do
hair
that.
and
You don't
shit.
have to be single. You just gotta go to a Subway and fall in love.
You know what's funny? Like, if I was single, I wouldn't even know how to go about dating somebody.
Well, it's different now, man. The whole online thing. Like, I've had people go, "Do you think that bullshit works?" I'm like, "You're calling it bullshit because it's not your generation."
Yeah.
And what you're used to is much, much different. But to that generation, it's a huge. And they're like, "Yeah, but they all fail." I'm like, "Yo, over 50% of all marriages in this country fail. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the technology's fault. Like, that's legit how people meet, and it legit works for an entire generation and sometimes beyond. But I wouldn't know the first thing. Like, I would just be a monk,
Freddie,
and live in like a log cabin somewhere.
let me ask you something. All right, and then I'll give you my answer. And I know my answer, so if you need to think about it, can you think about a date now, looking back at it, you're like, oh my god. But at the time, you were like, oh, this is fancy as fuck. And I'll give you an example of what I mean.
Yeah, like where you thought a restaurant was really nice, but now you'd be like,
Yeah, because you were fucking psyched.
Yeah.
Which give me one. I'll give you one.
okay. So, I don't want to say the name of it.
I'm gonna.
Oh, I'm not, because it's not like a chain, right? Like
Got it,
it was
got
it was a spot in Burbank. It was an Italian place, and this went bad for two reasons. And God bless the person who worked there for bailing me out hardcore. But so we go, and it's like real nice. But like if Sarah and I went there, it would be the same level of, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but the Olive Garden. It was at that level. But I'm not gonna say Olive Garden.
Yep.
Just know it was at the level of like Olive Garden, but it was not the Olive Garden. So I go in with this girl. We're on a date. We sit down, and the hostess, who didn't seat us, there were two, is a girl that I went on a date with like just 4 days before. Okay. And she sees me and this girl, and kind of like.
Are you Freddie Prinze Jr. at this point in time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she cocks her head, and my eyes check the menu quick, right? Like I'm like, oh, the steak looks amazing. Wow. And that steak is so long. And I'm hot.
How long did you look down at the menu?
A long time, man. No,
yeah,
a long
yeah.
time. Like conversation full, lockdown. But I can see her because I'm facing where people are walking in, and my date is not. So I can see her standing there, and she keeps kind of like looking over and smiling, and she knows like my ears must be red, like bad poker player red, where they're like, oh, do you think you have the nuts? Like all the blood in your body has traveled to your head. I fold. So she knew what I had in my hand, right? And I don't know what she has in her hand, because she could come in and be like, just so you know, I went on a date with him for it. Like she could have the nuts, right?
Yeah.
And I'm making a poker analogy here, but like that's the way I feel right now. I'm like, all my cards are on the table. She knows, she can see them. She's like, why are you showing me your cards? I'm like, it was not my intention to show you my cards. They accidentally flipped the fuck over, and I brought her to the one place you fucking work. So, and I don't know what she's holding. So she comes up to the table now, and I'm like, that's it. That's a wrap. Like, it's all over. She walks over, and instead of blowing me up, I don't remember the girl's name, but this is 20 fucking years ago. But God bless you, whoever you are, and I hope great things happen to you. She comes in and she goes, hi, the manager wanted to let you know they'd like to give you guys complimentary dessert. And she kind of just smiled at me like, we ain't going out on a second date. But didn't crush me, right? Like, didn't kill it. And then just walked away, and they legit brought us a dessert. And so I was like, yo.
But how, like, okay, how many dates had you been on this girl with?
This was
Did
date.
this girl?
Oh, the other girl?
Yeah.
We had gone out once, a time. But
you
I
hook up?
definitely, I definitely wanted to like see her more. Like I thought she was cool, but I was young and single for the first time in like 3 years. So.
And did you ever talk to her again?
Nah, I never saw her again. I never went back to that restaurant.
No,
again.
you did
oh
not.
My God. No chance. And not just because it was whack and I wouldn't go there now. Like that was, like when you said a restaurant you wouldn't go to again, it literally connected to that story because I wouldn't eat at that place again. But for more than one reason. She doesn't, man. I'm sure good things happened to her because she could have cut a decent dude's throat and decided to let me live.
But you know what though? If she had, she'd have been wrong because you went on one date.
Yeah.
But you messed around.
Yeah, we messed around.
Yeah.
So it's different.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's different.
You know,
but respect her. Like she had me in her, like she had the target locked and the safety was off. And then like, they're like, you have a green for go. And then she was like, nah.
Yeah, she let you
put
live
that
another
safety
day.
back on. I was like, yo, I felt the red dot on my chest.
Do you think she expected you to call her?
I mean, honestly, man, I don't think so because she gave me the look like,
yeah,
you're welcome.
Eat your dessert.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
So there was no like, hey, dump her and get with me. It was like, yo, that was cold. But I didn't know it was her restaurant. I wasn't trying to do some shady move like, hey, you like her
It's
too.
so great. It's such a good LA.
Yo.
For me, it was the Olive Garden. So I'm with this girl in college.
It was maybe
Right?
spit, dude.
Now, did not have a car, borrowed a car, so I'm driving that night, which makes me feel extra spiffy. At the
What town is this in?
this is San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
It was the 90s. I was full on. What's a good way to describe my hair? Cowardly lion. I guess.
What do you mean, man?
Mid back,
Describe.
mid back, tight curl, like a loose, not like a tight curl, but like a loose, you know.
Trying to hide a mullet.
Oh, no mullet, all because I had the top pulled back, and this is how bad it was. I had the top half pulled in the pony, and the bottom half I just let go.
What?
So you know what I'm saying?
No,
so
I don't know if I want to know.
Okay, so I pull the
like
top.
Billy Ray Cyrus back in the day.
Kind of. So I pull the top, so the ponytail here, but the bottom is still flowing. It's a terrible look, and it's all curly,
All right.
and dewy.
You got a date?
Okay, so
You didn't meet Beth with that hair.
no.
Okay, all right. Let's say Beth's a lady.
So not only that, I'm wearing a purple paisley button-down shirt,
Well, that's just big pimping.
buttoned all the way up to the top.
That purple was Joker free.
Well, yeah. So buttoned all the way to the top, baggy ass pants.
As you would.
Mm-hmm. It had that purple shirt tucked in with one of those thin black belts, you know,
nice.
with the silver tip.
From the structure.
You know, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And some fresh kicks. So I pull up in my buddy's car.
You look shitty.
Oh, man.
I've been there, brother. I ain't shitting on you, I promise.
Pulled up in my buddy's car, got a rose. Now listen, we were in college, so my buddy's car.
You got her a rose?
Yeah. My buddy's car smelled like a camel's asshole because we were in college, and you know what? Basically, you know when people sit in the back seat and there's nowhere to put their feet because the
I love when you concede shit in a story.
Oh,
because
just
it's always like, look, man.
terrible, just the worst.
All right, so here's the bad shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to.
But you know, like how when you were younger, maybe you just kept throwing trash in your back seat.
No, I get it.
Yeah. So the whole back seat was filled with trash. Front seats.
You didn't even dump it.
Yeah, it's not my car. I didn't want to kind of some extra work I didn't want to put in. So we get to the Olive Garden, and when you get there, you're family.
You're so stupid. I was listening so hard, and then you hit me with that.
So first of all, I had no idea I was getting unlimited bread.
You didn't know that?
No, I
and
hadn't-
salad, bro.
never
You
been to
dip
the
bread
Olive
in
Garden
the salad
before.
bowl and get the dressing at the bottom.
Never been to the. You
were neglected as a child.
You remember? There's no
No, you were
Olive Garden where I
neglected.
grew up, and you remember McDonald's was a treat. We didn't have any. We grew up in no.
Yeah, you were neglected.
Yeah, without a doubt, neglected. And so this purple shirt in a car, I'm psyched. Free salad, free bread.
You're like, why would we order food?
Yeah, I heard somebody under their breath call me Cher, which was funny. Yeah, they were like, check out Cher on table 11.
Yo.
Yeah, it was super funny. But this was the night.
Yo.
This was the night that I found out, and I ended up dating this girl for a little bit. But I ended up she pronounced salmon with an L, salmon.
Like,
And that was the night I heard her. She was like something about salmon. I go, what? And it was like, I'm
like
like
when
this.
people say almonds
Yeah.
instead of almonds.
Yeah, right. Almond. Someone called it an almond. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. But like, so I was thinking to myself when she said salmon, I'm like, is that a deal breaker for me?
Or often. What about when people say the T? Often.
Yeah, but you know what I used to say? Height.
Height.
At the height of it. And my brother was like,
Why
don't,
would?
don't say that again.
Yeah, you don't need the H.
Yeah, that's what
you
he
got
said.
one at the beginning.
Yeah. Don't double H it. I thought so sure that the Olive Garden was
I used
going
to think
end up.
intents and purposes was intensive purposes.
Yeah, but it
Till
could
I was
be.
like 12.
So did I, until I was like 28.
Sorry, go ahead. Olive Garden.
But I thought for sure Olive Garden was going to end up was going to deliver some vagina.
You thought taking a girl to a place with free food
Yeah.
was
In a
like,
car. In a car. I was in a
like
car, Freddie.
That smelled like a camel's asshole.
Yeah, but did I tell you what my hair looked like?
Not good.
But I had the fresh hair, and it stayed
No,
wet the whole time because I put some product in it, so I
Wasn't
looked like
fresh.
Jake the Snake.
Shit.
So I looked like, oh, it was so good. I was rolling Jake the
Wow.
Snake hair.
So no booty for you.
You know what? That was a negative booty for me then.
That was a negative
That was
booty.
almost as disappointing as the night that I went to prom and my prom date had sex with somebody else. Now, I've never told you that story.
Yo.
I'll tell you that story later. I do want to get to. There's a couple things I want to get to. We definitely want to get to Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Let me ask you just real quick something that people, your fans, ask me all the time to ask you.
Tell them to get the guts to ask me.
But you're intimidating. I'm not.
Oh yes, I'm nice. You're the one that's like, I need that edge to fucking kill people.
Yeah, but if I didn't have the edge, dude, people would just walk on my face all day.
All right, I don't like face walkers. What you got?
Summer catch.
Yes.
So, a lot of questions about movies, and when you have a special skill in the movie, I have a special skill, right? When you have a special skill, I watched that the other day again.
cut coupons with
I will
15
put you in
items or
aisle
less.
7. But we have to, by the way, next week get back to moving
Okay.
on to that. But people ask about when you're doing a movie, whether you have to fight or play baseball or what kind of is there research that goes into it, and B, like what kind of training do you have to do for a sports movie like that?
So, most of the time, they will offer training, and if you're smart, you take it, right? Sometimes the leads don't. Their ego dictates that they don't want to be seen not being good at something, and they think it looks good what they do, and it's why you see so many things in sports movies that look fake, and
Yeah.
that's usually because people didn't put the time in. On Summer Catch, I think it was expected, and certainly everyone that was asked to be there was there. Some of us from the beginning and others later as their schedules.
How long is
allowed
that when you say the
themselves.
beginning? Is it during shooting or before?
Both, before and during. So probably, it was a long time ago, Josh. Probably about 2.5 months before principal production started, we had one of the scouts from the Rockies and 2 of his assistants, and every day at Notre Dame High School in the Valley, 5 days a week, we would go out there and we just started working on, for me, long toss, starting at just like close, like 15 feet to 30 feet to 60 feet to 90 feet. All of a sudden, we're like, a month in, we're throwing the ball like, nearly across the field, and I would have to run every day. And then after my running, we would work on technique for the pitching, like what kind of pitcher did I want him to look like, what were pitchers that I liked.
Oh, that's interesting. You kind of get to pick what you wanted to like.
Well, I told him like the guys who I enjoyed watching pitch, the guys who I thought looked insecure on the mound, guys who I thought looked, intimidating on the mound, like that kind of stuff. And so we discussed the pitchers of the day, which were like the El Duques and that lot, right? Sort of like not the end of the steroids, but like middle to end of steroids, like the greatest baseball time ever. And we began working on technique and delivery. And then once technique and delivery came around in about like 3-4 weeks, I started playing like simulated games with the guy who played my catcher in the movie, who was Matt's guy, basically. And he would just kind of like shift his weight and pick the target, and he'd say, let's just play catch, man. And I would just start throwing and building my pitch count up and building my pitch count up. And one day I got cocky, I wanted to hit because everybody else got to hit except me, and I legit got hurt trying to friggin' hit, because you see me in the cage, like I can't do it. And so that paused production for like 2 weeks.
What'd you hurt, your oblique?
Yeah. It's funny that you know that right away. You played college baseball. But so that slowed things down, and then I came back and got my strength back up, and then it didn't hurt when I pulled my right arm in. I'm a lefty.
That oblique is hard to heal, man.
It healed quick. I was young, so it just heals faster when you're young. And then we got to North Carolina, and I got to work then with a real guy that used to pitch. His name was Bud. He used to pitch in the Pirates organization, and he was good. And he gave me little pointers like with my hip, and to point my hip at the target and allow, when I know the hip is pointed at the target, allow that to be my new balance point, and then load the energy and then release. He was the one who taught me the curve ball, and the first curve ball I ever threw to this day is still the best curve ball I've ever thrown. Like, I never matched that again. Like, it
And
was
did he
so
teach you
beautiful.
the 12-6 curveball or more of the slurve?
It was a 12. It wasn't. We didn't know what it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was a 12-6, and it became like a 10-4, 4.5, 5.
Yeah.
But the first one was a 12-6, and it was it looked like an ephus without the delivery. Like,
Well, you're lefty, right?
Yeah,
So
lefty.
that's a Kershaw.
it looked
12-6.
I'm telling you, it looked amazing. And everybody there was all like pro guys there, guys in the AAA system, AA system, and everybody, when I threw that pitch, it just got quiet. And then the guy who was my double was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
and it was never that good again. But it was, I could still throw some curves, but it was crazy. So anyway, so we trained there in North Carolina, and that's when a lot of the other, that's when Wilmer joined us. He played our shortstop. And Christian Kane, who played our second baseman, he's been in a ton of shows on TNT now and everything else. And that's when they kind of joined, and they just needed to learn how to field and look, representable out there. But they didn't get the time that we had because they were working.
Right.
He was on 70 show and it just has a schedule. But that was about how much time I got to do that. The writer, or he did a draft on it. He loved baseball, and one day it was like some downtime, and he was wanting to go out there and show that he could do it too, and he threw a curveball and he broke his elbow.
My
He wasn't
God.
warmed up.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get a little older. Now, is it 2.5 months? Would that be similar for if say, not you because you're already trained, but say I got cast in a boxing movie? Is 2.5 months generally what they give you to train?
No, not anymore. Nowadays, you don't get much time unless you're changing.
You don't get rehearsal time now either.
No. Standard was 2 weeks. Now you're lucky if you get a week.
To train?
No, for rehearsals.
Oh, God.
Training really is no longer applicable in a major skill set form unless there's body changing that needs to go on. You've been cast as a superhero and you need to get buff. That doesn't happen overnight and it doesn't happen naturally.
Yeah.
Those drugs take time to take effect, and look, newsflash, men don't peak in their mid to late 30s. That begins the death cycle. So they take shit to look like these heroes that we know and love.
But dude,
and I'm not even saying that's a bad thing, but
No,
that's
no,
really the only time that a good amount of time is given. So most of the time, it's why you'll see in a lot of movies. It was like, I don't talk trash on movies, but I said this when, not The Force Awakens, but The Last Jedi came out. I was like, yeah, man, my kids liked it, but I had some issues with it. Like that lightsaber fight scene with the guys dressed in red, which were stuntmen, and Kylo and Rey, to me was such a C- D level choreography.
Yeah.
Like I was seeing legit misses that were supposed to be hits. I was seeing it almost looked like rehearsal speed, and that technique was sorry. You know what I mean? Like on both of them, like they both just, I thought, failed in that.
Right.
And I thought, as far as the way it was shot, it was a failure. The way it was choreographed, that whole scene just took me out because they didn't know. And that's a movie where supposedly they do have weeks to rehearse. So it's a tricky thing, man. A lot of times.
Did you, when you were rehearsing or getting ready for Summer Catch, did you talk to a pitcher?
Oh yeah.
Like, do you talk to those guys? Like, so when you talk to a pitcher, what kind of questions are you asking?
A lot of times I would say, hey man, like, this sounds stupid, but I'd be like, hey, you just gave up 2 hits, a single and a double. You had a guy on, or I'll say you have a guy on first and third, and the guy on first stole on you.
Right.
So now it's second and third, nobody out. The fuck do you look like? And his name was Heath. He goes, what do you mean? I go, stand there. You just pitched, and now there's no outs. This guy's up and 2 men in scoring position. What does your face look like? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, all right, well, let's go out here. And I made him start throwing pitches, and I would just watch him.
Yeah.
And then, as guys would get hits, I would watch his demeanor change. And these are just BP kind of things, but I saw him start throwing harder because he's like, fuck these guys. I'm not going to let these guys hit me and make me look bad. I'm a AAA.
Yeah.
So I would just watch his face for that kind of stuff and talk to them about that. And he wasn't really an artistic guy, so he didn't get me. So there was a catcher named Mike Roboto who became a pitcher in the Mets minor league system, but he never got called up. So I would talk to him a lot more because he had more of a right-brained mentality on the world, a more creative mentality. And I would talk to him about how you feel when you own somebody, and is it cool if I smirk, and how many pitchers are willing to show that smirk versus how many look away. So that kind of stuff. But that's just minutes. Mike Roboto.
Did you ever say?
Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto? No, because everybody else on set would say it to him.
You never said Dame Rogato, Mike Roboto?
I just called him Mike. He was my catcher, bro.
I mean, yeah.
He made me look good with the pop.
Yeah.
And he could fold it a little, and it would sound like I couldn't throw, so I'd treat Mike good.
It's funny. So, it's funny you say that.
But you can tell when an actor doesn't have time with
Yes.
a role. And it's usually because the producers
Dude,
fuck up
the
and start
worst-
overhyping it and start overstating stuff.
Do you know the worst ever?
What?
The worst ever person who was supposed to be an athlete, who it was embarrassing.
Are you just talking baseball or all around?
This is all around for me.
Okay.
And I think the movie's called Killing Them Soft. It's a
Brad Pitt. Killing Him Softly?
No, then it's not it. It's a baseball movie with De Niro, who plays a catcher for the Yankees.
Okay.
It is what he does athletically is it's
And it's De Niro doing it?
De Niro, and he's the catcher for the Yankees.
That's tough because you won't be able to demonstrate that. You'll get
yeah,
too low.
but dude, the worst. No, let me get my phone real quick because I forgot we have a read today.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll do some of my worst ones. So
Worst? I'm gonna Google what this one was too.
I don't know if you remember, like Keanu Reeves is not a martial artist, right? And when The Matrix started, he was not a martial artist. And after the second one, he was not a martial artist. Like, it was very choreographed, form, technique, that kind of stuff. And they wanted Jet Li for the third one in that Asian, gatekeeper role.
Yep.
And he passed. And one of the producers, I believe, it might have been Joel Silver or Lorenzo de Bonaventura. It was one of them. They tried to say that, he backed out because Keanu's so good at martial arts that he didn't want to look bad. And Jet Li was like, I'll spar him today.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the next week, they're like, oh, no, we didn't mean it like that. We just,
Yeah.
so you could, when Charlize Theron did Atomic Blonde and the director was like, we had to slow the cameras down. Her techniques were so fat. No, you didn't. You didn't.
No.
Her techniques are not fast because she doesn't know techniques. She knows how to do some stunts in movies.
But who's the
She's
worst?
not a martial artist.
Is it worse? But hers looked more like a dance?
No, it looked like somebody who doesn't know how to fighting. And that happens a lot in movies.
The movie's called Bang the Drum Slowly.
Oh, okay. I've heard of it. Never saw it.
The worst.
Never saw
So
it.
who would you think is the worst at movie wise that you've seen someone try to do
man.
a skill? And as you're thinking, let me tell you something
Yeah.
about Jacob. So you're talking about the pop of the glove. So when Jacob was, I've told you this before, the one regret I ever had with him was letting him quit baseball.
Yeah.
I've told you that, right?
Yeah.
And I always said I would let them choose whatever they wanted, but I'm really, and I know why he quit. He quit because he could throw. He had a better arm. He threw harder than me at 12 than I threw when I was probably a freshman in college.
Mm-hmm.
He just couldn't hit. He had no strength in those gangly little arms. And chicks did the long ball, and he felt just less than all the time, and he couldn't get over it. And he just could not get over it. He
Should
couldn't
have
hit.
shown him David Eckstein videos.
Dude, he just, for whatever reason, couldn't get over it. But he used to throw hard. But I used to catch him in between innings when he was warming up on the mound. And I know how to make a glove pop. And I didn't want to intimidate the other kids, but I just made sure that glove went pop
Yeah, man. When you
every
hold
time.
it tight,
Pop
man,
every
it's
time.
a crack.
And I would be like, ooh, man, you're bringing
Sounds
it.
like
And he'd be like,
celery going,
pop.
yeah.
And every time I'd be like,
Like
woo,
a
dude.
carrot.
And I'd throw it back. I'd be like, man, take it easy on my hand.
Take it
All the
easy
other
on
kids, the
my
kids were like,
hand.
whoa. But I was like, skabop.
Like a hype man on a
It
on
was
one mixtape.
so good. And then, the other dad would get up there and he'd just catch him. He's nice, the way he's supposed to catch it.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't sound. And then I'd be up there next with skabop. Who do you think is the worst?
It's tough, man. For me, it'll probably always lean more towards the fighting stuff.
Was Jake Gyllenhaal any good when he did his?
In what? In Southpaw?
Because I heard that was a bad
Look,
one.
that was tough because Michael B. Jordan came out with Apollo just a little bit after, and his was so much cleaner and crisper that it kind of exposed that more. But that was another case where the producers and director and publicity department played themselves and said, because he got so jacked and ripped, they were like, he trained so hard, he looks like a real boxer, but they don't know boxing. They just know his body looks good. So that even the stuff they showed in the trailer looked rudimentary, like below amateur status, like things I teach my 5-year-old son, ducking under the rope, and him not being able to do that fluidly was rough. Like the guy I boxed with a lot, Wayne McCullough, like when you ask him about it, he'd go, "Oh God, no." Like, you know what I mean? Like he would say.
Is that the first sign? Like if you're watching a boxing movie, what's the first
The
thing
guy's
right away where you're like,
stiff
oh, he didn't train right?
or chin high?
Explain what
Okay,
that looks
if
like.
their body's stiff and they're not relaxed and
You
loose,
can see that in the shoulders.
Yeah, like you can tell if somebody's fluid and athletic and comfortable on their feet, or if they're like Bernie Kosar in the pocket, right? They just can't move. Their brain sends the signal, but the muscles aren't athletic. The fast twitch muscles aren't there. It's just genetically just doesn't work out for some people. And a high chin always lets you know.
That means it's up?
Yeah, and that means whoever taught him was just a guy in a gym, not a guy who trains fighters. And there's a lot of those in the world. I get hit up on Instagram all the time like, hey, I'll train you for free. I train, boxing all over the world, and I'll look at their videos and I'm like, oh, dude, no, you train it as like a workout.
Yeah.
Like, you don't train
like
boxers.
A bag class.
Like, I would fuck you up.
Yeah,
like,
in
you
your
know what I
bag
mean?
class.
Like, I'll put it to you this way, like, Wayne McCullough will fuck me up, and I've got 35, 40 pounds on him. I don't care how big this boxing trainer is, I will tax him. Like,
okay.
So you can tell when a guy trained with somebody who doesn't understand fighting and somebody who did, or Jake just wasn't receptive to those lessons. Either way, in recent memory, that was when we're even in the trailer, you were just like, bro, like, shout out to you when you lost your girl, and his acting in that scene was on point, but like the in-ring work was just not where it needed to be. Whereas Michael B. Jordan just looked crispy and fluid.
How does Stallone look?
He always looked great. It's funny because he was supposed to be clumsy and oafish, and his defense was he could just take a horrible beating. So even back then in the 70s and 80s, like, he always looked good. And then as he got older, he started to feel himself, right? He started to feel that bounce, and you started to see him look a lot cleaner. So, even though it's back in the day and you can see a lot of the punches miss in the old Rocky movies, if you're not holding it to that standard and you understand that technology gets better and shot selection gets better and movies can evolve technologically, then it totally holds up, because those movies always look cool.
I have an idea for Mount Rushmore, and then let's do the Rousey. Okay, the idea for Mount Rushmore is our favorite athletes or musicians that have gotten into acting. So
we've done our favorite actors just like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, Kareem was with it. I thought you were going to say our favorite, like...
Oh,
yeah, you did. I thought you were going to say, like, our favorite, like, actors or musicians that we'd like to see fight.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Hold on.
But not in their prime. We're picking them as they are today.
And we'd like to see them...
When we did the verses, it was always their body of work with films. This is just people we'd like to see beef.
Together.
Okay, you want to set actual matches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If we were going to pick...
We're promoters. You're Don King, I'm Bob Arum, because you got the fro.
Well, should we do it this way, Freddie? Should you pick yours and I'll pick mine, and we just...
No, because that's too close to our versus battles.
That's true. And you know what, by the way? One of the reasons that I stopped bringing the verses in is because Brendan does it on his Showtime show.
Does he?
Yeah, a versus of actors versus each other.
But we have been doing this before that Showtime
yeah,
show was on.
I know, but it just seemed like I didn't.
Did he ask you?
No, I'm sure it's something that I'm sure it's just something.
But we shouldn't stop something that we started first. That'd be like if you made Oreo cookies, someone else made a cookie with a delicious cream center, and you're like, I feel bad. We should let them do it.
Well, then I would pick it up. But the reason I stopped talking about it is because I know he started doing it on a show, and I was like, well, I don't want people to. I don't want there to be like a.
I love Brendan, but I feel like if we talked to him, he'd be like, why'd you stop?
Yeah, I guess so.
Why don't we just text him and be like, well, dude,
yeah, I'll text
you're
him.
too sensitive about that stuff.
You know what it is for me? It's like it's a if it was the Mount Rushmore, I wouldn't stop. But it was I was like we're still. It's not like it takes away from what we do.
I understand, but to stop something that you did first because someone else is doing it is weird.
Yeah, for me, it's just avoiding the whatever.
Avoiding the conflict.
Yeah,
sometimes
especially
conflict's good. Man.
Sometimes it is, and I don't avoid conflict all the time. I just weigh the benefits of the conflict.
Okay.
But we can,
I've taken good care of Brendan.
And here's the deal. Honestly, if he has a problem, I'll just tell him. I'll beat the shit out of Brendan Shaw.
I don't know about that.
You know what's funny?
Look, I gave him his business manager so I can talk him out of whipping your ass once. He loves his checks because his accountant is my accountant, and I introduced them. But that's only going to get you out of jail one time, bro. And then Big Brown's going to.
I did ask him. I said, "What percentage of the world do you think you could beat up?" And he goes, "Over
98."
He said over 99%.
99%.
Yeah, 99%.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of a lot of big motherfuckers out there, so I think it's probably 98%. I think 2% of the world. There's some like big, like what do you call them? Like Norwegians.
Yeah.
That would be like, nah, buddy.
And some country strong guys.
Nah, he's whooped some country strong, but they've whooped him too, so it would be tough.
But it's still a large percent.
You'd have to hit him with a damn tree trunk
Yeah.
just to put him on the ground. Big son of a bitch.
He's so, but by the way, one of the nicest people.
I love Brendan, and he and I disagree a lot because I think his perspective on the UFC is strictly from a fighter who was able to get out and have success, and I don't feel he applies it in more of a universal field. So, that said, I legit love him. I'm not one of those guys that has to agree with everything.
No, me neither. Me neither.
So
hit me with the UFC.
Okay, it's not UFC. It's WWE.
It's WWE.
How much time do we have?
We're at an hour.
Okay, so this will be fast. All right. So it was Money in the Bank, and this is really weird because I was way wrong on one.
Oh, should we read the?
Do your read.
Should we do the read?
Do your read.
We should do the read.
We're already at an hour. I don't know how.
Because
you hijacked something.
Because you know what happens. Now here's something, guys, and you know, Freddie and I only do the reads or do the products that we're into. So let me just say this, and I know we've talked about Dollar Shave Club
this is
before.
dollar Shave. I already used these guys.
We've talked about Dollar Shave Club before.
It'd be nice if one day you told me what they were.
Here's what. He emailed me that today.
Nice.
Here's what I want to say, and then Freddie will get into. It seems like, and this is one that doesn't even need like a prominent or a dick hug or a catchphrase.
You're so stupid.
Here's what I'm telling you. It is a product men shave.
Well, most of us.
I shave. I shave my neck.
I shaved yesterday.
Okay.
Baby.
So here's what I would say to you. If you are shaving and you are not using this product, this is about as plain as I can put it for you. If you're shaving and not using this product, that means you're paying more for a product that definitely isn't better. So it could be worse. It's definitely not better. That you have to go get. So it just seems bananas to me that you would spend more and go in your car for an inferior product. You wouldn't do that with anything else. And here's another thing, guys. I shave my neck. It's the only thing I shave with a razor, because everything else I kind of trim up with my trimmer. The neck, especially as you get a little older, is not an easy thing. It never cuts my neck. Never. Guys, I would trust my nuts with this razor. And I would pull it tight and make sure there's a lot of steam, don't get me wrong. But I would trust my nut. Listen, there's my catchphrase. Dollar Shave Club, you'll trust your nuts with it. That's all I'm saying.
Let me give these people some important information. I'm going to say this first, and then I'm going to give you some even more important information. So here's the read that they would just want us to say because they hope we get this message across. But I'll tell you why. For a mind-blowing experience, join Dollar Shave Club today, and for just $5, I'm going to say that again, $5 with free shipping, you'll get the 6-blade executive razor plus trial sizes of shave butter, body cleanser, and one wipe Charlie's. Then keep the blades coming for a few bucks more a month. Get yours at dollarshaveclub.com/thewolf, dollarshaveclub.com/thewolf. Now,
all caps?
It's all caps on the wolf. Now, here's when they say that $5. Get your razors. That's awesome. That's already cheaper than the other razors you're already buying, and they're giving you more. But more importantly, when you go to the store, there's 27 different friggin' shaving creams to buy. There's 27 different aftershaves to buy. You're usually buying them based on which one smells best and not even knowing what's inside it. You can get their skincare products too. Their aftershave balm, their pre-shave oils, their shaving cream. You don't have to shop around and pick which one's best.
I believe it's called the Dr. Carver's Shave Butter.
Shave Butter. I actually have it.
Yeah.
You can use their product. It's one product. You don't have to shop for it. They send you everything. You still save money. And that's literally all these codes do. Even without the promo code, it's still less than you buying all that other shit. So use it. We use it. There you go. That's the read.
Yeah,
WWE.
Hold on, one more thing with this. The razors, we got to go back to just one last thing.
We're give them a good read, and you're going to end the podcast on it.
No, we're not going to end the podcast on it. But
I am.
Here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. I'm going to ask you guys, as Prince of the Wolf fans, just to give it a shot. All I'm saying, and if it does not work for you, then just don't order it again. But you're going to spend less. It comes to your house.
We already said
Get that shave butter.
And what's the time on the podcast?
It's 3 hours and 15 minutes.
What's the time on it?
7 hours and 22 minutes. An hour and 4 minutes. We only wasted 4 minutes.
Yeah, but we started late. Prinze and the Wolf.
What's that? John Lee Brody just joined the club. Give me your Rousey. Give him quick.
Don't
Go.
have enough time. Prinze and the Wolf.
Are you done? You don't do it. You don't do
We
it.
don't have time.
Well, there's nothing that says we only have to do an hour.
We started late, and I still have other shit to do.
Yeah, me too.
Prinze and the Wolf.
Guys, Prinze and the Wolf, and we'll do the Mount Rushmore next week. Later.
It's like straight up. We can't.
Oh yeah.
I would have 60 seconds to talk
I
about
had
a
to
whole
d-
paper.
I